Okay, hi, hello, class 2 Alpha. Good morning. How do you do today? Can you hear my voice?
Can.
Okay, thank you for your response, Mamantai. And then I hope others also, yeah. Okay, who you also can. Very good. And then I hope all also can hear my voice and also my presentation. How about it? Can you see my presentation as well?
Can.
Yes.
Okay. Uh 4.2, yeah. Right. Body defense. So this is the new subtopic lah, new subtopic, the second subtopic for chapter 4. Okay, I hope you all in a good condition and then ready to learn something new today, right? Okay, so before I start, like usual, you still remember what we're going to with what we already learned in chapter in subtopic 4.1. Okay, make sure you understand what is the non-infectious and infectious disease. Okay, um, maybe some of the sample of infectious disease and non-infectious disease, but we are mainly focused on what we call on infectious disease, infectious disease, not in non-infectious disease, because if you still remember in topic 4.1, um, we are learning more about how the disease, how the disease is able to transmit, uh, for example, from one to another. Okay, so we are not focused on non-infectious disease such as what, such as cancer, right? Such as diabetes, asthma, and what we call heart failure or heart disease. Yeah? In 4.1, we are focused on the non-infectious disease and how to prevent it. Okay, and then you also learn what is the medium. The most important thing here, one of the important things in 4.1 is the medium of transmission. Okay, how many medium of transmission you still remember without looking at your book? How many transmission? How many medium of transmission? Sorry, without looking at your book, can you still remember?
3.
3, right? Into. What's the first one? Anybody?
Water.
Yes, water. Mantai. Very good. Medium such as water, and then we call it a waterborne disease. Okay, water, and then through the air, and then if I'm not mistaken, if I still remember, the medium using air got two transmission, got two way of transmission using a droplets and droplets transmission and then dust transmission. Okay, and then we also learn about how to prevent to minimize the risk of transmission of this disease. Okay, for example, like usual lah, the COVID-19 things and all this, you wear your mask. Okay, you what we call practice physical distancing for minimum of 1 meter. Okay, avoid crowded place, avoid confined place, and else. Okay, um, and then we learn about vector. Vector is one of the medium of transmission. You must able to identify the type of animal that carry the disease. Okay, such as fly, mosquito, or rats. And then you need to know what we call the disease and its symptom. Yeah, one particular disease and its symptom. Okay, still remember that? I hope you can still remember all that lah. Right? Where's the book? Where is the book? Okay, so if you have any question about our previous topic, you can have free to ask me, right? Anytime in our Telegram group, right? As well as usual. So 4.2, we are now starting to learn the second topic of chapter 4, meaning 4.2 body defense. Okay. In this chapter, we are going to learn how our body, when there is an infection, for example, when some of the particle substance or the pathogen, you still remember what's pathogen, yeah? When pathogen try to enter our body, what is our body respond towards that pathogen? Okay. This is what we call by body defense. Okay. All right. You can look at your textbook, page 82 to 83, because these two pages, actually, if you look at your textbook, page 82 to 83, both pages are usually, actually, it is combined page. Yeah? It is a combined page. So I will try to share the whole page, 82 and 83, whether you can see or not. Let me try it first. Okay. Actually, it is a combined, it's a combined page, 82 and 83, where is the textbook? All right, this one. Entire screen, okay, entire screen. Okay. I am sharing my entire screen. It is very small, I know, but never mind. Later on, I will try to you try to read it for yourself, because I want to just point the important things only on this page. Okay. Oh, right. Oh, what happened? Okay, this one. Okay. Page 82 and 83. Yeah. All right. If you can see here, body defense. Okay, we can what we call divided by three stage. Three stage here. One is the first line of defense. Okay, the first one is what we call a first line of defense. This is number one. The second one, we call it a second line of defense. And of course, number three, we call it a third line of defense. So meaning that when a pathogen try to enter our body, it needs to go these three defense line. Okay, before it can enter our body and do damage or getting us to become sick, right? There are three what we call line body defense. Body defense. There are three lines of defense. You must remember this. First, second, and third. So we take a look one by one. Okay, I just try to zoom it a bit. All right. So we go for the first body of defense. Oh. What happened here? All right. I don't know whether you can say it or not. Okay, I just zoom it a bit. Never mind lah. You can also refer to your textbook because I think the image here is very, very small. You cannot see it on your handphone or your own computer, but never mind. All right. So for first line of defense, we call it a non-specific body defense mechanism. Non-specific body defense mechanism. How to use this? We call it a non-specific body defense mechanism. Okay, I will try to rotate it for you, whether you can see or not. Very hard to do this. Control R. Is it Control R? No. Image, how to rotate it? Rotate right and L. Okay, R and L. Okay. Okay, this one lah. All right. There are again. Okay, again. I repeat again. We have three lines of defense. three line of defense: first, second, and third line of defense. Okay, the first and second one, we call it a non-specific body defense mechanism, meaning that it is not specific to, or it is not special to one or two pathogen. It is in general. Okay, maybe outside of our body there are many type of pathogen. Okay, for first line of defense and second line of defense, our body will try to hold the pathogen, any type of pathogen, not specific. That's why we call it non-specific. Okay, meaning that our body defense will try to defend in general. If any pathogen want to enter the body, it will try to defend it, no matter what the type of pathogen it is. Okay, this is what we call a non-specific body defense mechanism. Okay, whether it is virus or bacteria or fungi or whatever type of virus or bacteria, the first line of defense and the second line of defense will try to hold it first. Okay, non-specific body defense mechanism. Can you understand this? Boleh? And then for okay, good. Thank you for your response. And then third line of defense, specific. We will go to what is the specific body defense mechanism, meaning that specific pathogen, for example, COVID-19 virus, for example, COVID-19, there are special, what we call function, a special antibody that only attack that one pathogen. That's why we call it specific. Okay, this is for third line of defense. If the COVID also were able to penetrate or able to go through the first line of defense and then the second line defense, and then it go to the third line of defense, specific one, meaning that specific antibody for specific antigen. We will go through the terms later. All right. Okay, how to rotate this back? All right, right. Okay. Oh, oops. Okay, right. So we go to the first line of defense, where it is what we call a non-specific body defense. So what is the function here? For non-specific, you can say that it is trying to prevent the pathogen to enter the body, just to prevent the what we call prevent pathogen to enter the body by skin. You must remember, our skin is the largest organ in our body, and then one of the function of our skin is to prevent the pathogen entering the body. Okay, by the skin. Okay, you can see here there are many type of pathogen, right? I don't know what is the name but you can see this is one different pathogen, and then this is another different pathogen, and then this is other pathogen that try to enter our body. Okay. So what is the explanation about it? Okay, first line of defense. Okay, first line of defense meaning that the human skin is made of tough layer, and it is difficult to penetrate by microorganism. A very tough layer, and cannot be what we call simply penetrates by the microorganism. Okay, cannot be simply penetrate or go through by the organism. And then microorganism can only get into the body if there is a wound. Okay, if there is a wound, then it will able what we call the pathogen will be able to enter the body if you have any gaping wound or open wound here. Then the body, then the pathogen will able to enter the skin if there is an injury. Okay, and then number 3, there are a sweat and sebum secreted by the skin contain chemical that can kill microorganism. Okay, actually, our own body at the outer layer of the skin is already have what we call already have the defense, the what we call the first line of defense that maybe could kill some of the microorganism. Okay, I know maybe some of you said, okay, we can always wash our body, have a shower, and then use a shower soap or whatever. But our best defense is actually the special chemical that is secreted through the sweat and sebum that may able to kill the microorganism naturally. Okay, I think if you look at the internet, it is not advisable actually. You try to, just to always clean your body. Okay, I am not saying that it is not good for always cleaning your body, but you must have what we call that the balance, because we need our natural, what we call natural healing as well. Okay, there are natural healing. There is a skin will generate will produce some of the chemical that able to kill the microorganism without the use of soap and without the use of what we call water, but only small quantity lah. Not about COVID virus. You must use soap always. You must use soap, and then you must use what we call the hand sanitizer. But sometimes if you always use the sanitizer or the soap, your skin will become, what happened to your skin? You always wash your hand. You always what we call use the hand sanitizer. Maybe the chemical inside the sanitizer will make your skin dry. Okay, it is not always good, but you must have unbalanced acts between these two. Okay, for example, shampoo lah, hair shampoo. Do you use hair shampoo every day? Can you use the hair shampoo every day? Because there is a layer of oil inside what we call the scalp of the hair here. If you use the shampoo every day, the chemical in the shampoo will make the hair very dry. Okay, we sometimes must let the natural oil that is secreted on our scalp here to do its job sometimes. Okay, can you understand me? Boleh faham?
Can.
Okay, there is some of the sweat and sebum secreted by the contain chemical, right? Okay, and then this is the skin. And then how about the mucous membrane? Do you remember where is the mucous membrane? Mucous membrane usually will what we call cover the digestive tract and the respiratory tract. I just give you one simple example. Inside our nasal cavity, there is a mucous membrane. What is the condition inside our nasal cavity? It is moist or dry? Class. Inside our nasal cavity, inside our nose.
Nice.
A bit moist, right? Very good. We have a moist, because the moist condition inside our nasal cavity, because the nasal cavity is covered with mucous membrane. Will cover with mucous membrane here. That's why our skin, that's why inside our nose is a little bit moist. Okay, because one of the function of the mucous membrane is to trap the pathogen, and the mucous membrane, the mucus itself will try to destroy the pathogen if they can. Okay, microorganisms that enter respiratory tract are filtered by nasal hair. Inside nose also we have nasal hair. Ada bulu hidung kan? Ada bulu hidung ini. Not just the moisture condition inside the nasal cavity, but also the nasal hair will help trap the will help try to trap the dust and then the pathogen if they try to enter the body through our opening, through the nasal cavity. All right, and then where is the another place? Inside our digestive tract, inside our stomach. Okay, and then the ears. Usually, many of the opening of the body usually have this what we call a mucous membrane. Okay, you just remember the function of mucous membrane is to trap the foreign substance such as any pathogen or dust or smoke that may be enter our body. Okay, tears, and then vaginal secretion. Okay, vaginal secretion is the the substance or the liquid that secretes by female reproductive organ. Okay, that's one you just remember that only lah. And then it function as antiseptic. What is meaning by antiseptic? Antiseptic is the substance that able to kill the virus. Able to kill the pathogen. Okay, antiseptic that kill microorganism. Earwax inside your ear, you have a earwax. One of the function is to what we call to trap the to prevent the something that getting into our ear. Okay, this is what we call a mucous membrane. And then you remember mucous membrane and the skin is our first line of defense. Okay, first line of defense. Any problem?
No.
Okay, only one. Only you. Okay, I hope others also same. Okay, the second one. We go to second line of defense. We call it also a non-specific body mechanism. What happened if the pathogen able to go through the first defense? What is the first defense? We got two types of first defense. We got skin and we have skin and mucous membrane. So what happened when the pathogen able to go through the skin and able to go through the mucous membrane? Okay, for example, virus. Virus, because of the virus characteristic is very small, it cannot be trapped into our nasal cavity. Right? The virus cannot trap into our nasal cavity and cannot be trapped into our mucous membrane and then our nasal hair. And then it will go through until to our throats. Okay, meaning that it already passed the first line of defense and then it settled in our throat here. Okay, so what is the what we call the process of the second line of defense? Okay, second line of defense meaning that the pathogen is successfully get past through the first line of defense and enter the bloodstream, and face the second lens, what we call line of defense. Okay, this is what we call white blood cell will get into action. You still remember the type of animal cell? We call it white blood cell. You just remember the white blood cell inside our blood is trying to fight the pathogen. Okay, it will try to fight the pathogen through a process that we call a phagocytosis. Okay, white blood cell is just an army. Okay, you just remember it is similar like an army. Okay, when they found an enemy, they try to fight it. Okay, this is the what we call the function of white blood cell after it successfully go through the first line of defense. Okay, right. For example, this one, the pathogen here, and then the white blood cell will find the pathogen and it try to fight it off. Dia akan cuba lawan dengan penyakit ataupun kuman itu. Okay, so what is the second line of defense? You must understand here the process of what we call a phytocycle phagocytosis, meaning that the white blood engulf and digest the pathogen using enzyme through phagocytosis. Okay, you may find the animation on how the pathogen how the white blood cell try to eat the pathogen on the video on the internet. You can find it for yourself. Okay, so this is white blood cell, and then this is the pathogen. So what happened? The white blood cell will try to eat the pathogen. Okay, through what the process? What is the process name? Phagocytosis. Okay, and then what do you think? It's like a Pac-Man. You know the game of Pac-Man. It try to eat the small dot, right? Just like that. Right? It tried to kill the pathogen, but engulf mean what? It cover the pathogen. Okay, and then if successfully, if the white blood cell successfully eat or kill the pathogen, what happened to the white blood cell itself? What do you think? Yeah, you still remember, or you what happened to the white blood cell after successfully fight the pathogen? What do you think? If the white blood cell, is it the white blood cell still live or not?
No.
Okay, yes. Actually, white blood cell, after it tried to fight with pathogen, and then the pathogen also die, but unfortunately, white blood cell also die because of the fight. Because of the fight. All right. So this is how the second line of defense, our body try to fight infection. And then during the fight, okay, remember, usually during the fight, during the fight between the white blood cell and then the pathogen, what we call the process, phagocytosis, what happened to our body? What do you feel, or your body? Your body feel what? Your body feel what? Yes?
Hot.
Feel hot. What is the disease? What is the condition that body feel hot, and then we will become very, very, what we call very, very weak. We are unable to eat. We cannot eat. We cannot drink. Body very hot. Apa nama itu? What?
Fever.
Fever. That's why you just remember, when we get fever, meaning that our body is trying to fight the disease. That's why we have fever. Okay. Usually, if you go to the clinic, when you have fever, what the doctor give you the medicine? What type of medicine the doctor give you? When you have fever, you take what? Nah, kalau kamu demam, doktor akan bagi apa?
Panadol.
Panadol, yes, correct. Doctor gives you Panadol. Panadol, it is not the medicine to cure you. Panadol is just a medicine to relieve the fever only. It's a painkiller. You know painkiller? Maybe you feel less sick. Kamu akan kurang rasa sakit when you take Panadol. Okay? Because we cannot do anything actually. Our body try to fight off the disease itself. Okay, Panadol, we eat Panadol, we take Panadol because we just want our body to get less symptom. Untuk jadi kurang sakit sedikit saja. Okay, you can, if you got fever, you also can what we call do not take Panadol also can, but maybe you have very weak body lah. Okay. Can you understand this? And you take Panadol. Or maybe the doctor will give you antibiotic, just then chemical, okay, the medicine that help the white blood cell and then to kill the pathogen. Later on, we go to what is antibiotic. Okay. So what happened? We go to the third one. What happened when the fight or the war is not successful? Okay, the white blood cell cannot kill the pathogen. There is some case like COVID-19, like COVID cannot kill. What happened to our body? That's why some of the person who have usually fever only up to maybe 2 or 3 days. Why? Or maybe a week. Maybe 5 days you have fever and then you're already okay. But what happened if your fever is very long? Sometimes you got fever, sometimes you got on and off fever, meaning that the pathogen is very, very strong. So you go to the third line of defense. So this is what we call a specific defense mechanism. So this is our the last line of defense in order to fight the disease. Okay, third line of defense, we call it specific body defense mechanism. And then we use the body use what we call an antibody. The word here you must remember, antibody. And then the antibody will try to find the antigen. Okay, we try to find the antigen on the pathogen, and it will try to fight the antigen or the pathogen out. Number one is antibody. Okay, what is antibody? Antibody attached to pathogen. This prevents the pathogen from entering a host cell. You just remember, the purpose of pathogen when it enter our body is they try to replicate, they try to reproduce. Okay, one virus, for example, the COVID virus, enter our body and attack our cell. They enter our cell and then they try to replicate, they try to reproduce to become more. And then at that process, when the replication process, when the reproduction process by the virus inside our own cell will kill our own cell, and then we will become very, very sick. Okay, that's why it is very dangerous lah, the process, right? Any pathogen, virus or bacteria, they are aimed to enter our body, attack our cell, and then reproduce. Okay, from 1 become 2, from 2 become 4, and then it will replicate until it become many new bacteria or new viruses. And then the new bacteria and the new viruses will spread to other people. That is the function of virus, the function of virus and bacteria, just to replicate, just to replicate. Right, go to the third line of defense. We have pathogen here, and then we have antibody that attach to pathogen, and then antibody will cause pathogen to clump together. It is just like what we call tools that find the pathogen, and then they clump it together. They gather all the pathogen together, clump it together, and then they try to fight pathogen by producing antibody. Okay, this is the third line of this defense. White blood cell cannot, already exhausted, cannot kill anymore because maybe there is too many pathogen. Then it will go to the specific that we use, antibody. Antibody, you must remember, antibody specific to pathogen. One pathogen may have specific antibody. One pathogen, one antibody. This is what we call an antigen. Inside the pathogen, we have a special structure we call antigen. The antibody that produced on our body, that produced by our body, will find the specific antigen in the pathogen. Okay, can you understand this? This is the third line of defense. Maybe a bit detailed, but our body can what we call try to fight the disease itself. Okay, so we go to the explanation here. What is the third line of defense? Right. Third line of defense is the use of our own immune system. Immunity, you must remember what is immunity, is the ability of the body system to resist pathogen before it is infected. This is what we call by immunity, right? It involves the production of antibodies when pathogen enter the body. Okay, what is antibody? Antibody is the protein produced by white blood cell in the bloodstream to respond in antigen. Okay, you must remember this one. Antibody and antigen. So what is antigen? Antigen is the foreign substance that come from outside the body and induce the production of antibodies. Example of antigen are pathogen, toxin molecule, blood cell from other blood group. This is what we call by antigen. Usually, you just remember antibody produced by our body, and then antibody will find the antigen. What is antigen? Antigen is the protein from other foreign substance such as pathogen, toxin, or blood cell from other what we call from outside. Okay. So the work of antibody is to find the antigen, and then what the antibody do, it will try to fight the antigen that is available on the what we call the pathogen itself. Okay, can you understand this? Boleh faham tak yang ini?
Can.
Make sure you understand this,
Can.
Just a few terms lah, antibody, antigen, and then white blood cell, phagocytosis, and everything else. Okay, if you have found the word antibody, antigen, meaning that it is a third line of defense. Okay, for example, the vaccine. Yesterday I see the TV, I watched the television. Our Prime Minister take the second shot of vaccine of COVID-19. The vaccine itself, it want to it tell our body to produce antibody for COVID-19. Specific specific instruction. Vaccine contains specific instruction inject into our body and then tell our body to make antibody. Remember, to make antibody so that when the COVID-19 try to infect us, so our antibody is already there to fight the disease, to fight the COVID-19. This is what we call a vaccine. Based on the vaccine is not actually a drug or medicine. Okay, it just what we call want to stimulate our body. Okay, so that when the COVID-19 virus enter our body, it know how to fight it. Okay, that is what we call by vaccination. Of course, maybe if you do not take the vaccine and then suddenly suddenly you will get the COVID-19. Of course, maybe your body also can fight it, but it is not same for everyone. The problem is it is not same for everyone. Some of the people can fight the COVID-19 with no problem, no symptom, but some people, when they get COVID-19, they will become very, very sick, especially the older people. And then the people who get the underlying disease, such as what? They already got diabetes, they already got the heart disease, and high blood pressure. Usually, that group of people is very risky group of people if they get COVID-19. Yeah, that's why we need to get the vaccine. Without having the severe symptom. Without having the severe symptom like we have when we get the real COVID-19 disease. I hope we do not get the COVID-19 disease lah. But usually a person will have a healthy body, they were able to overcome, or they were able to get our body to defend the virus, the COVID. That's why how many people infected already cured in Malaysia? About 300,000 already cured. About 90 to 80% of all the patients who have infected with the COVID-19 disease already cured. Okay, because their own body trying to fight the disease. So why we need to get the vaccine? Because of that. Because of what? Because the symptom may be not the same for everyone. Okay, just tell you, some of the person may be very strong, they can fight the COVID. Some of the person cannot fight the COVID-19. There are 1,000 plus, right? 1,000 something death in COVID-19 because of the COVID-19. Because the person cannot cope or cannot defend the body from the virus. Okay, so I need you to understand this. Again, if you want to try to read all the what we call information on the textbook regarding the body defense system, the third layer, the third three line of defense, and then its process and also the terms. Make sure you can understand this. And if you have any question, you can ask me later on. All right? Is it okay? Where is the... Okay. All right, good. This one already finished. So next one is importance of immunization. I think, okay. Now is 1:30. Okay, only short one, only short topic for this one. What is immunization? Immunization is the effort from who? Effort from the human to stimulate the body defense against infection in babies, children, and adults by injecting vaccine. We need to prepare our body, okay, meaning that we need to prepare our body with the specific type of pathogen, okay, so that our body doesn't what we call have the problem when they contact with the real disease. This is what we call a vaccine. Because around us there are many pathogen, many disease. So if our body is already ready for the pathogen, so our body will have less symptom. okay, and then able to fight the disease itself. But we need to stimulate it. We need to stimulate the body against the specific infection or the pathogen, right? But you know, sometimes if you look at the internet, there are a person who opposing the vaccine. Ada ramai orang yang tak mau vaksin. I don't want vaccine. Vaccine is very dangerous. Okay. Many people right now, they are opposing with the vaccine. They do not want to take the vaccine. For me, we must take the vaccine lah. We must take the vaccine because vaccine is just what we call to stimulate our body, to prepare our body if there is an infection from outside. Okay, and then it is very safe. Vaccine is here for many years. Okay, we have already prevent so many disease. Ada banyak penyakit yang kita sudah boleh lawan because of the vaccine. For example, what we call it, ada satu diphtheria. Okay, ada banyak penyakit yang kita sudah boleh lawan because of the vaccine, right? Is it safe? Of course, it is safe. But for the COVID-19, I don't know lah. Maybe we can wait and see lah about vaccine in COVID-19, because vaccine for COVID-19, they develop it only 1 year. Usually, vaccine they develop. They take a long time to develop a vaccine actually. But I think the COVID-19 vaccine, because it want to use emergency use for emergency, maybe we can wait and see lah the effects. Right. Okay. So what is actually inside the vaccine? A vaccine contain antigen that obtained from the parts or whole structure of a weakened or dead virus or bacterium. You know, vaccine, inside the vaccine, only we have the virus itself, but the weakened virus, the small part of the virus, not the whole virus, not the whole and active virus. No. Inside the vaccine, we have a small part of the virus, weakened virus or dead virus inject into our body. So what happens when inject into our body? Our body system, our body will try to produce the antibody to attack the antigen. That is what vaccine inside. Okay. Antigen will stimulate the body immune system, forming an immunity against certain infection. Yeah. That's why when we inject the vaccine, our body is already know to fight the virus. That's why when we go outside, when we finally found the real virus, when the real virus try to infect our body, then our body is already know how to fight it, and then we may have less symptom, less sick, because our body already know how to fight the disease. This is what vaccine is all about. Okay. What if you do not want to take the vaccine? You do not want to take the vaccine, and then you let you go outside, and then you maybe let the virus, the real virus itself, infecting you. What happened? Only two conditions lah. Whether your body able to fight the disease, or whether your body cannot fight the disease. If cannot fight the disease, your body will become very sick. You have long fever, you have difficulty in breath, you have infected lung infection because of the COVID, and then you need to use the ventilator. Maybe you survive, maybe you will not survive if you do not take the vaccine. But if you take the vaccine, your body is already know how to fight the virus with less symptom. Remember that. Less symptom. So it is very safe actually. It is safe. Right? So therefore, for example, we already what we call in fact multiple type of vaccine actually. If you still remember in your primary school, sudah dapat cucuk kan di sekolah rendah, when you born you already got your shot, and then kalau di tepi sini, can you see the what we call the shot from the vaccine here? Ada tanda di sini. This is what we call the vaccine for BCG. We have 2 shot here. Okay, meaning that you have already vaccinated for certain disease. 1 shot maybe for 1 disease. Right? Can you understand this? This is the type here lah. Why the Chinese flag here? Alright, can you see this one? Di tepi ini, di tepi sini ada shot. We already got the shot when you are born until you are right now. Okay, no problem about the vaccine, no problem. Okay, so this is the vaccination schedule in Malaysia. Malaysia will take this type of what we call a vaccine. You have BCG, we have hepatitis B. This is the name of the vaccination or the disease you want to control. We have diphtheria, HIV, polio, measles, MMR. There are so many what we call the disease that we are able to prevent by using a vaccine. Okay, and then each month after born, you take 1 dose of BCG and 1 dose of hepatitis B injection. Okay, until 2nd month, the 2-month old, and then 3-month old until 21st month old. You have to take the dose here. But class, I want to ask you, can we reject? Can parent reject the vaccination? Boleh tak kalau tolak? Class?
Tak boleh.
Tak boleh kah? Actually, some vaccine is not compulsory. Okay. But nowadays, many parents try to avoid the vaccine. I don't know why. Okay, but it is important actually. It is important for us to take the vaccine because we do not want to have the disease. Protect us from the disease. Okay. It is not compulsory. I don't know about certain country lah, but in Malaysia it is not compulsory. There are parents who doesn't want their baby to have vaccine. I don't know why. Because they said the vaccine from the dirty sources, and then they said that their own body system will able to fight the disease or whatever. So I think it's a very selfish action by some of the parents. You need to take the vaccine. And then maybe they said because vaccine sometimes have adverse effects, but not all person have this effect. Okay, for example, maybe when the person shot with the vaccine, maybe he will get what we call allergy. They get the allergy of the vaccine, but not all the people like that. But never mind. Later we discuss this later. All right, and then 7 years old, you have the DMR and DT. You no need to memorize the timetable here. Jangan kamu ingat pula. This is for your understanding only. And then for 13 years old, later on, I think last year you already get for female only, right? The HPV vaccination, the HPV shot last year. Girls, are you taking that?
Yes.
Sudah kan? Okay. Ada yang tolak kah? I asked the girl last year. Some of you, I think most of you will take the shot, right? You take the injection. But ada yang reject. Got some of you reject the injection. That's why it give you the form, right? If you still remember, girls, last year, it give you the form whether you want to receive the injection or to reject the injection. Okay, it is not compulsory. If you want to take, if you think long-term benefit, because you want to fight the disease later on your life, you take the vaccination. But if you think you can able to fight the disease, you do not want to take the vaccination, it's okay. But it is highly recommended for you to take the vaccine. because it is a long term, not for short term. Okay, and then on your age, 15 years old, when you are in Form 3, you will take another shot of tetanus Form 3 next year for both male and female. Booster means we want to enhance, we want to boost the effective of our antibody to fight the tetanus disease. Okay, this is the what we call by the what we call the vaccination schedule in Malaysia. Okay, any problem, any question before we stop here?
No.
Okay, make sure you understand today the body defense mechanism, first, second, and third line of defense, right? And then what happened in the third, second, and first line of defense, all right? The what we call the terms you need to understand, and then the importance of immunization, vaccine, the vaccine. What is the importance of the vaccine, and then the rest of the information you can just read it on the internet. You can find more information on the internet, or you just read your textbook. Okay, but careful lah. Be careful if you want to take information from the internet. Be careful, because internet is not only, there is a group that we call in the internet anti-vaccine group. You know what is anti-vaccine? They do not want to take any vaccine. They do not want to take it because maybe you can search the reason, but I hope that if you want to take the information from the internet, you must what we call be careful lah. Be careful, because there is a group of people who don't want to take the vaccine. It is very dangerous for us, very dangerous for them also, because they said that what? Because their body, human body, were able to what we call fight the disease. Why need to take the vaccine? But they do not know the acceptance or the response of our body to a certain disease is different. Like I said earlier, the COVID. Maybe the person who get the COVID, no symptom, and then it can cure. Maybe about 2 weeks, no COVID already. But if somebody who has compromised their body system, for example, the old person, if they get the COVID, they will get very sick. And then maybe they will not survive. That's why we need to let them to take the vaccine, because the vaccine, when inject into our body, prepare our body for the attack of the virus later, and then with minimum symptom. Okay, you can find the more information on the internet, or you can ask me on our Telegram group. Yeah, is it okay?
Okay.
We want to talk because we want to talk about the human health. Is very interesting actually. If you want to become a doctor one day, you must have a passion about this later on. All right. So I think I will stop here. I will continue the next topic. When is our class? Next week, right? Our class is on next week on Tuesday. Okay, I will continue the class next week on Tuesday. We will learn the next topic for next week, that is passive immunity and active immunity. A bit technical, but I hope you can understand this. All right, so I think I will end the class for today. If you have any question to ask, you can freely ask me on your Telegram group, right? Okay, thank you for your focus. Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye. See you next week. Bye, class.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Teacher.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. See you next week.